Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video today, and today the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Green Bay Packers 34-29. This was last night, but great win for the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil to get a win. He couldn't be more happier for the way the NFL season has started with these two games, these last two nights with the Chiefs and the Ravens, two great quarterbacks going at it, and Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Coming down to the last play was a great game. Literally to the last play the Ravens were a toe away from either sending it to overtime or winning because of a 2-point conversion. It looked like the Ravens would go for the two, or it would end in them not getting the 2-point conversion and the Chiefs winning. But a crazy ending on Thursday night, and then we had this game. I watched this game with a couple friends, and the one thing I thought, and we brought about is this was a much better game than the Chiefs-Ravens game. The Chiefs-Ravens game was a great game. I enjoyed that game, but this was a much better game. I liked the environment that Brazil brought. I mean, their fans actually surprised me a little bit. I mean, a lot of Packers fans, a lot of Eagles fans as well. And a lot of green, especially when you got two green teams in the Eagles and the Packers. But it was nice. And the main thing I loved about it was Friday football. I'll be honest. And I like that the NFL's expanding their horizons and they're going to different countries and stuff. Which that's fine with me. I don't care. I wouldn't want my team to go to a different country. For instance, for the Eagles tonight, this was a home game for them. That's the thing that would piss me off as a fan. Like, if my favorite team, was going to play in this game and it was considered a home game for them, that's a little upsetting. I mean, for Packers, if I was a Packers fan, I really wouldn't care because it's a road game. Probably be better to play in Brazil with a bunch of Packers fans and play in Philadelphia in that great Philadelphia environment. I don't know where the Packers would rather play, Philadelphia or Brazil, but I like what they did. But the main thing I loved about it was Friday football. I feel like a lot of people would agree with this too. Is that I would love to see more Friday night football games in the upcoming schedules. Obviously, I don't think you can really do anything about putting more Friday night games into this year's schedule because this is the only scheduled Friday game this year. But I think in these next couple of years, 2025, 2026, I'd love to see the NFL, do Friday night games more. Now, with Friday nights being the nights where you see college football, you see high school football, I don't think this is a thing that would happen every week. Like, every week you see Thursday night football. Every week you see Sunday night football, Monday night football. That's a weekly thing. It's regular. I don't think that should happen with Friday night football. But to the point where we see it a good maybe 4 or 5 times in a season is what I'd love to see. Whether that's in a country like Brazil or wherever country the NFL might send this Friday game to, or if it's just in, the United States where whoever that team plays for. Like, if it was Philadelphia and Green Bay again, it'd be in Philadelphia. I just love Friday night games in general. And I loved watching this game last night. So let's get into the scoring summary because this was a very entertaining game. So in the first quarter, the Packers did knock in 2 field goals. Braden Narvison, who actually was pretty active in his first game as a kicker for the Packers tonight, but a lot of chip shot field goals, 31-yarder and 23-yarder in the first 2 drives, and it's 6-0. Then Saquon Barkley with a touchdown. As a proud Saquon Barkley fantasy owner, I was very impressed with Saquon Barkley tonight. He was amazing. Jalen Hurts throws an 18-yard touchdown pass to Barkley. It's 7-6. But then, how about this? You have a Jaden Reed 33-yard touchdown run. They go for the 2-point conversion just because of the fact that there was a penalty on the PAT attempt, and they failed to get the 2-point conversion. Then Saquon Barkley has an 11-yard touchdown run, makes it 14-12. They get the extra point. And then Jordan Love throws a 70-yard touchdown pass to Jaden Reed, makes it 19-14 with the extra point. They're going to halftime. Jake Elliott drills a 38-yard field goal to make it 19-17. But Jalen Hurts throws a 67-yard touchdown pass to A.J. Brown. But Jordan Love throws a 2-yard touchdown pass to Christian Watson. And Saquon Barkley then has a 2-yard touchdown run to make it 31-26. A field goal by Braden Narvison, a 26-yarder, and it's 31-29. And then a Jake Elliott 21-yarder with 27 seconds remaining makes it 34-29. And then we would see Jordan Love complete a amazing 34-yard pass to Jaden Reed out of bounds. And then on the next play, Jordan Love would flip something or flip a backwards pass to Josh Jacobs. And eventually on that play, Jordan Love would go down and he would hurt his knee. It looked like it was his ankle, but it has been revealed today that it is his ankle's fine. It's not an ACL tear, and it is his knee, and they are doing MRI. So praying that Jordan Love stays healthy. Not a Packers fan, but I thought Jordan Love was going to have a big season, and he looked pretty solid tonight. But you need to get him back healthy. But we'll see what happens. So game leaders, Jordan Love threw 17 for 34, 260 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. Jalen Hurts looked pretty good, 20 for 34, 278 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I know there were some mistakes for Jalen in this game, threw a couple interceptions, but you would expect some tricky things to happen when it's your first game with a new offensive coordinator, your first game with a new center after your previous center just retired, a new running back. It's a little bit of a new offense with a new center, a new running back, a new offensive coordinator. I expected things to be a little bit sloppy by Jalen Hurts. So he did better than I thought he would do, to be honest. All right, rushing yards. Josh Jacobs had 16 carries for 84 rushing yards, while Saquon Barkley had 24 carries for 109 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. That's not including his receiving touchdown, though. Receiving yards, Jaden Reed was amazing. He didn't do a lot in the second half. Outside of that 34-yard reception at the end, he had that big 34-yard play at the end of the half. But outside of that, he didn't do much in the second half. It was mainly the first half. He was so dominant. 4 receptions, 138 receiving yards, 1 touchdown, and he also did have a 33-yard touchdown run. A.J. Brown had 5 receptions for 119 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Let's go over some other stats from this game. Malik Willis did come out there to get 2 plays in. He threw a pass but was incomplete and got sacked after Jordan Love walked off the field. Jalen Hurts had 13 carries for 33 rushing yards. Kenneth Gainwell had 1 carry for 2 rushing yards. Emmanuel Wilson looked pretty good for the Packers. 4 carries for 46 rushing yards. Jaden Reed had that 33-yard touchdown. Romeo Doubs had 4 receptions for 50 receiving yards. Tucker Kraft, the tight end, had 2 receptions for 37 receiving yards. Josh Jacobs had 2 receptions for 20 receiving yards. Christian Watson had 3 receptions for 13 receiving yards and a touchdown. Devontae Smith looked really good for the Eagles, 7 receptions for 84 receiving yards. Dallas Goedert had 4 receptions for 31 receiving yards. And the final one was Saquon Barkley having 2 receptions for 23 receiving yards. Fumbles, Jalen Hurts was not clean on this side either. 2 fumbles, lost 1. One of them was recovered by Saquon Barkley on a tush push. The Packers fumbles. They fumbled twice, but recovered both of them. Defensive stats, Zach Bond led the Eagles in tackles with 15 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 tackle for loss. The only sacks for the Eagles tonight was by Zach Bond. For the Packers, as Zach Bond led the Eagles in 15 tackles, they were led by Quay Walker with 11. He had 1 tackle for loss. Their 2 sacks was Keyshawn Nixon, and then Rashawn Gary had 7 tackles for loss. Their interceptions, though, Reed Blankenship had an interception off of Jordan Love, and Jareer Alexander and Xavier McKinney both had interceptions in this game, thrown by Jalen Hurts. And both of the interceptions by Alexander and McKinney were both returned for 17 yards. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out.